Good morning, everybody. I have another breakfast here. It looks kind of plain. But I wanted to do English muffins because I wanted to call Meat is Murder's attention to the holes. Remember when I did I think it was an alpha breakfast sandwich? Although I think the field roast breakfast sandwich had the same kind of like solid English muffin with no holes in it. This is what I mean by holes. Now, of course, the butter's going to run out. Maybe it won't. This is what the outside of it looks like. No holes. This is what the inside looks like. Holes. Holes for all the melted butter. And what I am reviewing today is Safeway's Open Nature plant-based buttery spread. I can't keep the box closed. There it is. It's not bad, but it's not as good as my homemade butter. It's got a little bit of a strange flavor when you eat it cold. And I had been putting it on my bagels with cream cheese, so I couldn't really tell what it's like melted. So I will sample one of these. Mmm. Nice crunchy muffin. But yeah, it's a bit salty. I'm not fond of the flavor melted either. You might like it though. Like I always say, you might like it. Everybody's got a different palate. What I think is too salty, you might think is not salty enough. Who knows? It is soft enough to spread on your bread, untoasted bread, straight out of the fridge without tearing up the bread, which is an advantage. So if you shop at Safeway and you see it, and you haven't tried it before, do try it. You might like it. I mean, when I say I prefer my homemade, there's just, no comparison. But if you don't want to make your own butter, you might like this. The cream cheese is still my favorite. I think I have some more Open Nature stuff to try, but so far I love the cream cheese. So now, here's the story of Pickles and the Black Cow. This happened before my accident. It's getting so hard to remember what life was like before I became disabled. But I had let Pickles out, and I stayed in the house. It was the afternoon, late afternoon, and I heard all this barking, and I was like, oh no, somebody's come up the driveway. Better go out there. She hardly ever barks. When she barks, I know there's something going on out there. So I opened up the kitchen door, and I was about to go out, but she came racing in through the patio gate, which I left open. Came ripping into the house, and I was like, whoa. And I looked up, and this little black cow followed her into the patio. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know where this black cow came from, but she saw Pickles and followed her all the way up my driveway. My driveway is about maybe 500 feet. And she followed her all the way up and came in the gate and wandered past my door. I was on the stoop and I was talking to the cow, and she came along and she went past the stoop, turned around and stood there. So I closed the door And another funny thing that happened was that Petey, who's twice as big as Pixie, his little sister, always ate twice as fast as she did so that he could then butt her out of what was left of hers and finish it off. And she would just let him. But Petey was by the window. And yes, I do feed them on the counter because if I don't, Pickles will eat their food. So he saw the cow go by the window and freaked out and ran off. And Pixie had her back to the window, so when she was finished with her dinner, she turned around and finished his because he was gone. So she got a little bit of, what do you call it? Tit for tat. That was pretty funny. So then I opened up the door, and then there was a man at my gate. He said, "Ma'am, there's a cow in your patio." I said, "I know." And his wife was at the other end of my patio. And I said, "If you want to open that gate, it's unlocked. And then you can come in." She came in. I mean, I guess she knew what she was doing. I would not approach a cow from behind because I wouldn't want to get kicked. But she came up from behind, and the cow started walking forward to the man. And so, because I was thinking, wow, what am I going to do with a cow? Where's she going to live? What am I going to feed her? But her people showed up, and I was kind of sad because, she was a black cow, and they're usually for beef. They're not for dairy. The cows have the babies, and if they're boys, they castrate them and turn them into steer and butcher them. So that's the sad part of the story. But yeah, for a while there, for a few minutes, I thought I had a cow. And I love cows, before I really became enlightened, I volunteered at the San Francisco Zoo just because I loved animals so much. I wanted to be around them. And I was in the children's zoo in the barnyard, and they had a little Dexter steer named Arthur, and I was crazy about him. He was so cute. And a lot of the other volunteers, especially the girls, were afraid of him. And I wasn't. And he was very playful. And I had such a good time with little old Arthur. So yeah, I thought, oh, she looks just like Arthur. I'm going to have a cow. So anyway, yeah, she went off. I've never had another stray cow follow Pickles up into the yard. But I always remember that story. So thanks for listening this far. And in case you're interested, it's October, so I'm doing daily posts to my community page. I will be doing Halloween sort of, as some of them are a stretch, Halloween music videos, and some scary movies. Probably the scary movies on Friday and Saturday nights, because that's when, the scary movies used to come on when I was a kid. So check those out if you want, and I will talk to you later.